Radio. Shout it.
What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Of course, you know it's your folk, Beehive Radio. Shout in, stepping in the building. I got an A-Town legend, super producer, CEO, boss, and one of my partners. Some call him DJ Smurf, some call him Mr. Collipark. Yeah. What's good with it, boss?
What's up, homie? What's up?
Man, feeling good, feeling great. First of all, let me say, appreciate you for stopping through this thing and hollering at a player.
Anytime you call. Matter of fact, Bone Crusher called.
Yeah. What up, though,
Shout out to Bone Crusher, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, Collipark, man, I've been in this thing doing interviews for a long time.
Right.
And I like to think that I knew Mr. Collipark.
Okay.
But your name has came up in so many different influential eras in Atlanta that I didn't understand.
Okay.
I didn't know that you and the J team DJing and you was raising hell before you even started with the music.
Right. I could have stopped after that.
Come on. You see what I'm saying? You already had a whole career and went to the top, did what you did before
Matter
you...
Matter of fact, I just hooked back up with Lady DJ, who was Edward J's sister.
Oh, you
serious? We did a mixtape series called Slow Jams.
What?
Which was one of my biggest mixtape series, and we're doing a new one right now. So, yeah.
And see, on another note, I got to call you out, though, because, see, what you don't know is that I like to ride to Mr. Collipark doing Ryan Cameron's show.
Okay. That's the love.
Nigga, you be going in.
Hey, dog, you catching the love.
Come on, man. We been riding around town, boy. You made that ride at 5 o'clock a good one. So I got to salute you on that. I was going to text you, but I was like, nigga, you in here going to fuck you today.
Yeah, that's where I come from.
Exactly. So, I mean, talk to me about your young beginnings as a DJ, though. What was it that made you say, okay, let me go ahead and get into these turntables, and what do you think it was that really got you into the game?
Well, if it wasn't for the DJing part, I wouldn't be here.
Okay.
Period.
Okay.
That's what I was, a DJ. Nobody knew, especially back then, the music industry wasn't in Atlanta what it is now.
Facts.
So I was just a young DJ, just like, you had Toomp.
Yeah.
You had a lot of DJs, well, not a lot, but you had DJs out here that we was just DJs at the time. And I was from the South Side. I didn't know nobody like that. It wasn't until I hooked up with Edward J, who was running the mixtape scene here in Atlanta from Decatur.
Yeah.
And when I hooked up with him, that's when I kind of started getting exposure because he had a record shop.
That's right.
And so when I hooked up with him, he gave me my first set of Technique 12s. And he gave them to me off the floor in the back.
Yeah.
I dusted them off, and that's the same pair I got to this day. I never bought another pair of turntables.
My God.
To this day. Matter of fact, I painted them black on the floor of my dorm room, and they almost kicked me out for that shit. But that's how far back I go with the DJ and shit.
Yeah.
And so that's my roots. I wasn't even a party or a club DJ. I was a mixtape DJ.
Oh.
Yeah, from the 4-track, like when 4-tracks first came out.
Yes, sir.
That's where we kind of mastered making, tracking out mixes as opposed to, now I can mix live on the spot too.
Yeah.
But and little did I know, I was kind of producing mixtapes.
Yeah.
As opposed to just sitting there in front of you mixing, and that's kind of followed me throughout my career.
Answer me this though, Smurf. As a young man getting into the game, did you have goals that you set for yourself to achieve, and did you achieve them all? Or
I ain't have no goals. I just had love.
Talk to me. So you just followed the love and the passion, and you just let it take you.
When you're young, you can afford to do that.
That's true.
Now, the grown man in me lets me look back at it for what it was.
Okay.
I was young.
Okay.
I was hungry. I had love, and that's what drove me.
My God. So now when you're looking up and you seeing Toomp doing his thing, you see Jelly them doing their thing over there. I mean, told me that you slick had a beef with them too back in them days.
I didn't even know them. So that's what I don't know if know or he don't know. I was beefing with them through Lady DJ because I was in college. I didn't even know who they were. I didn't even know. I couldn't have picked them out of a lineup.
Oh my God.
But they was coming at Edward J and them.
Yeah.
And I was at Alabama A&M in college. So I got word. That's when I answered. That taught me lifelong lessons. Don't jump in no beef that you ain't got nothing to do with.
Ooh.
I ain't even know them.
Yeah.
I was told that they were beefing. Okay, let me get them. That's just, that was the young nigga in me. Like, yo, I got to get these niggas.
Exactly.
Who the fuck? What the fuck? Where the fuck? How the fuck? When the fuck? And that was so fun because they some of the nicest people.
You gotta love them,
right?
Yeah,
Jelly, man, I love Jelly.
Exactly.
Come on, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now, what was the point that you felt like you went from DJing to producing and doing music? What was that, turning point for you?
It was a natural progression that when I met MC Shy D.
That's right.
Through the Edward J shop.
Facts.
And that's when I started DJing for him. And from them, I had my first placement on his album as a producer.
My God.
True to the Game.
Yeah.
It's my first. We shot the video in Magic City. One of the first videos. I'm sure. I don't know the exact history on that, but I'm sure that True to the Game by MC Shy-D was probably one of the first music videos to be shot. My first video cameo placement was that record.
My God.
Yeah.
So now when that hit, what was that feeling like for you though, Smurf, when you realized that, okay, now I'm in the music industry?
That shit was fun, man.
Yeah.
That shit was like going to Six Flags and living there.
Yeah.
Like you could wake up every day you woke up, man. It just felt like you was waking up at the Willy Wonka chocolate factory.
I feel that.
That's what life felt like when I got into that part of it. Because you know, I didn't know what to expect. There were no expectations. I didn't have nobody to judge off of or tell me how I was gonna be or whatever. I was just I'm the youngest of 6 kids. You know, that was just something I found on my own as far as my music or whatever, and just that it was just fun to me.
Being in Atlanta during those times though, man, I mean, what was the atmosphere in Atlanta before it became the industry, and how did you feel? Did it feel country to you back then, or did it feel like we just over here doing our thing? What was that vibe like?
You know what? I didn't really know what country was till I went to Huntsville, Alabama to go to school.
Come on now.
I'm not gonna call myself country because that's all I knew.
Yeah.
I was actually born in Orlando, Florida.
Okay.
So hell no, I wasn't looking at my people saying, yo, you country, we country, we country. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I would never say that. But when I left to go to college, I got to meet people from other areas in the South. So I was calling them niggas country. Them Alabama niggas, I like, yo, them niggas country.
Yeah.
And they like, nigga, you country. It's just different kinds of country.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So living in Atlanta, and I felt like Atlanta was like the New York of the South.
Exactly.
When I went to college. Yeah. Because it was a different kind of country. It was the city country versus the country.
Facts.
And that's Atlanta was just, to me, it was just fun. It was party because you got high school. Yeah. You know, I spent my college years away from Atlanta. Yeah. So a lot of these people and the experiences that you hear about in Atlanta, I didn't experience because I wasn't here. Damn. I didn't realize, and this is some funny shit. I don't think I ever said this. And if you don't know, you don't know anyway. I never went to Kaya. What? When Nabs was DJing at.
My God.
And I didn't realize that till I went to his viewing for the damn video that he made. And I was sitting there looking at all this footage, and I'm like, I never stepped foot in that motherfucker. Damn. But that was a huge part of Atlanta history.
Facts.
You know what I mean? But even that side of the history, to me, no disrespect to Nabs. Yeah. But it went Atlanta from how I saw it.
Talk to me about, from your perspective, how did you see the A?
Frozen Paradise. Yeah. You know what I mean? Atlanta Apollo. Mm-hmm. You know, Club Excess, fucking Club Illusions. Mm-hmm. That part of it. The dirty part of it. Yeah. Like, not to say Kaya wasn't. Yeah. But I just never experienced that part of it. Yeah. And I didn't miss it. Because I didn't know, like, Nabs. I didn't know Nabs like I know him now. Exactly. That was his thing. You know, and so to me, Nabs came here. Yeah. You know, from where he was from. Yeah. So Toomp was at Sharon Showcase. Yeah. What up, though, Toomp? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's what the difference was. Okay. Yeah. Now, cause see, I know between you, Nabs, and Toomp, y'all are some cold-blooded mixologists too. I can't fuck with neither one of them. Cause y'all boys get busy. Let me go on record. I can't fuck with neither one of them. Nabs to this day. Now Toomp still got it too, but Nabs, yeah. I ain't gonna lie, when I stopped DJing and came back to it, I kind of hated that I stopped. Because the people who never stopped. Yeah. It's like, you know, you can't get them years back, but I wouldn't trade. What was it that made you stop? Hell, it was a progression. Yeah. Like, and DJing, you didn't have celebrity DJs like that. You had fucking Kid Capri and that was it. Yeah. You know, Speaking of that, now I hate it when every nigga in the world started talking like them New York DJs, screaming in the mics. And we didn't do that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I remember, shouts out to Kid Capri, because he put that shit on the map with them TV shows and shit that he was on. But, you know, damn, what was I saying?
You was talking about DJing in Atlanta from your experience, and then taking it to another level, the progression from DJing to the music.
So yeah, it was just like, there wasn't celebrity DJs. You were just a DJ. And for me, I was just a mixtape DJ. Mm-hmm. And when I started DJing for Sade, it was an independent thing. So I started not really paying attention to the fact that I was learning the business of it. So it was like I progressed from DJing into producing, because I started producing and slick writing for Sade as well. And so that's when I get the experience of putting records together came from that. And that's it, you know, it just progresses.
DJ Smurf though, man. The man, the myth, the legend. Okay, because see, that's my whole thing, Smurf. You know, upon your shoulders, a lot of folks stand on, including myself. So, I mean, when you out there trying to become DJ Smurf, then reinventing into Mr. Collipark, what's going through your mind during those times?
Love, man. Yeah, I like, for real. It's not like I wish I could say I had this master plan. You know, there was really no blueprint that I followed, other than Luke,
Uncle Luke,
from a music perspective. If you know my catalog, that was my inspiration musically. But as far as how I did it, I can't tell you nobody who did it how I did, because most of my peers, my DJ Smurf peers, stopped right there, and I kept going. You know what I mean? So it ain't like me and this nigga did it together. We came from way back here, and we I don't have that.
I feel you on that.
You know what I mean? So I just kind of was following my passion.
So when you became the front man, and it was about you doing your thing, and now the Smurf legacy is starting with your music that you putting out for yourself, what was that like with them singles and stuff like that?
I had a crew when I first started making records. It's DJ Smurf. It was DJ Smurf and PMHI.
Okay.
The my first, you know, albums or whatever. And I never asked for shine and wanted the light on me. I ain't want to be that nigga standing up, you know, look at the little baby plaque right there. I never that was never me. You know what I mean? It was Smurf, and even though I was the only one on the album cover, I needed. That's why the shit was whack, because I ain't. It looked like I ain't even combed my hair before I came to the damn photo shoot. But that was never my passion to be the nigga in the front. So, you know,
I feel you on that, though.
It was just.
I feel you.
It was just, to me, I always just like. You know, it's like a painter. You know, he spend that time in that room putting that painting together or whatever, and then he say he has the showing, and he invites select people in to see the painting, and he just sit back and watch them their take on his work, and that's where his gratification comes from. It ain't the money, and he finna make a bunch of money. Now, that's what. To me, that was the beauty of this whole shit. When I got paid to do it.
Ooh. Talk about when them first checks came in. How did that impact you?
Well, when I came in with MC Sade, it was always a crew family mentality.
That's right.
So DJ Smurf checks weren't just for DJ Smurf. I shared it. So that's how I was brought into the game. And so that followed me to not have to have all the money. So it was just like, it was cool to be able to get some money to do what I love, and everybody involved, we can all make some money. And do it, you know, and have fun, and just, we never thought we'd be able to buy houses and shit, like cars and shit. We never thought that. You know, maybe a car. I was signed to Ichiban Records, dog. I wasn't signed to fucking Motown or Universal, you know.
That's what I was about to ask you about Ichiban, man, because
shouts out to
obviously
John Abbey.
a lot of artists and a lot of Atlanta history ran through Ichiban at that time. So could you break down that label and what was going on at that time?
That was the
and how you found yourself on Ichiban.
That was the Motown.
Okay.
Literally.
Okay.
It wasn't no house though. He had a nice ass building up there in Kennesaw. I used to love to go up there. He had the warehouse in the back with all the product. Like he had a real one-stop shop, a full staff.
Yeah.
John and Nina Abbey. It was a married couple.
Yeah.
They later on got divorced, and that's how the label dismantled. But I got on there through submitting a song on a bass compilation when I was DJing for Shy D, because Shy D was signed over there. And they did they put out Whoop There It Is by 95 South.
Yeah.
And then they did a compilation.
My
and
God.
I gave them a record called Drop Like This Bitch. And
A classic, might I add.
Atlanta,
Don't say a record.
They might,
a classic.
right. So,
nigga.
so that's the record that got me my record deal as an artist.
Yeah.
And so that's
Booty Shake in Atlanta. DJ Smurf in that scene, cranking that thing up. What was that like? And then when you were creating that music back then, what was there any secret formula to the Booty Shake sound?
so. We were heavily influenced by the freestyle records. That's what the vibe come from.
Okay.
When you say the dance scene here in Atlanta was huge.
Exactly.
That's what inspired the Booty Shake sound in Atlanta.
Okay.
You take the dance scene. It's like breaking in New York.
Yeah.
You
But we was cranking
what
that
we
shit
call
up.
yeek.
Yeah, yeeking.
What we call yeeking.
Yeah.
If you take that away from the
Damn.
music, you got Planet Rock.
Yeah.
But if you put yeek on top of it,
Come on now.
then you got Eat His Ass Up.
Yeah.
Or Drop Like This Bitch. Or Kilo.
What was it like when you started dropping your music and you started to see the reaction to it though?
It was the same thing I'm saying about the painting.
Yeah.
You know, I remember I took Drop Like This to Playboy Palace on Godby Road for the first time, and when I had the test press, we used to get the test press back of the vinyl before they sent it into mass production. So I had the test press of Drop Like This, and I took it up to Playboy Palace, and I heard it, and I heard the quality of it. I heard, because Shy D was big on mixing.
Yeah.
The sound quality of the records. And when I heard that, it blew my mind. Like, for real, that was the first, that's the feeling, like a crackhead say the first time he got
That
high.
first hit. Yeah.
That was the first hit. And you want that feeling every time you make a record. And the second time I got that, let's fast forward all the way to Whistle While You Twerk.
What?
When I heard Whistle While You Twerk mixed and mastered in a club for the first time, it was that feeling.
Oh my God. Now, back to the Whistle While You Twerk, when that thing hit and went crazy, what was it like with that whirlwind when you got the Ying Yang and now they are going on their world domination tour?
It was a lot of work. That shit was what you call a long shot.
Yeah.
You know, and we won't get into like the where we all were in life at that time. Hell, I was newly married. I had a baby on the way. And they were, D-Rock was going through some shit. He had a record out before called The Bankhead Bounce.
That's right.
And he was going through some shit with that. And Kane, I won't say Kane was working at Uhaul and writing for D-Rock, helping him write.
Yeah.
And so I saw Raheem succeed with drama in the left, right, left. Shout out to Shouted Red.
What up, though, Red?
That's what inspired me to take that leap from being an artist into being a record person.
Yeah.
And the Yin Yang Twins, they had done a feature on my album as the group for the first time on one of my albums. And when I heard them, I heard what you guys hear now.
Yeah.
Together, it's magic. And so we put the Whistle While You Twerk out, and the rest is history. Shout out to Raheem the Dream, for real, because he gave me he gave me the game.
The blueprint. I mean, Raheem that came here and gave me the damn game too. So that's 20 years, 30 years after the fact.
I always give Raheem his props for giving me the game. Shadi gave me the game from you have to have some kind of etiquette and standard when it comes to this hip hop. And I use the term hip hop on purpose.
Yeah.
Because I don't think people realize, because when you start talking about Southern music versus East Coast or West Coast, all this shit is hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
And so he brought that New York DJ and MC shit that's in me. that's the slab.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I come from good stock, from Edward J to Shy D. You know, I come from good stock. So that's how I got to give them their credit. You know, Raheem giving me the game to be able to put out Whistle While You Twerk, how to promote it and work it, you know, into...
Do you feel like you are one of the pillars of this Atlanta stuff, and a lot of stuff that we have here, we wouldn't have without you? Do you feel that way?
I know that.
Do you feel like they put the respect on the name that it deserves?
They don't, but at the end of the day, the shit that I've done gonna be here long after.
Longer than the haters.
I told somebody the other day, I might not have sold more records.
You sold enough, nigga.
I sold enough, but I'm saying it's a lot of people who were bigger than the stuff that we did, but the impact on the culture that I've had, I sit, you know, even when I see little shit, I just sit back like, it's kind of like a good feeling to know where I come from and to be able to say, I don't have to tell somebody I'm responsible for that, or they kind of borrowed from what we did or what we do. And you know, I don't have to. They know.